What is going on, everybody? It is your check-in for Smoke episode 8. And I was worried, y'all. I was worried in the absence of Freddie, RIP Freddie, how the show was going to do. Because Freddie was carrying the show on his back, okay? Single-handedly. Don't at me. But anyway, guys, yeah, we ain't got to worry about that because we have found a replacement for Freddie. Give me a close-up. Michelle, you are an arsonist and a murderer. You're disgusting and you are trash. Okay. I have the evidence. I have more context, and I'm ready to double down that Michelle is trash. On episode 1, I just said she was ethically trash. You know, people sleep with their boss. Not a biggie, right? Even though you are an officer of the law and you should be held to a higher standard. Okay. And we're gonna flame you tonight. At least I am. But Michelle had to play a little bit dirty to get some dirt on Dave, because Dave said, hey, y'all ain't got no DNA. He said it boldly. Y'all ain't got no DNA. You got nothing. She decided to put something on him. So do y'all agree with her methods? This is the second time she's playing dirty. She didn't go by the rule book. Last time she shot the guy in the kneecaps with no warrant, just pulled up. And this time, and she murdered somebody in addition to that and burned down the house. And now you framing people. Michelle's a dirty cop. She's trash, but she's not trash for this. I don't even care about her burning that house down. She's trash for another reason, and we're going to get to that. But that's gonna be at the end of the episode. But that ended scene, that was nasty work. That was nasty. You was in bed with that man, and you made him say those words. We're gonna talk about it. I didn't like that. But anyway, guys, welcome to your review for episode 8. I gave you a little teaser of what to expect. But yeah. As far as that being said, we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about Dave's clapback. Then we're going to talk about this little burn match we had between Dave and Michelle. They were getting at each other. Sneak dissing. We got Harvey's confession. We know what you did last summer, buddy. Okay. And of course, I'm going to end things off with Michelle is trash part 2. I got the evidence, guys. All right. But before we get into that, I know my girl Kendall is watching or eventually going to be watching. You're going to be in those comments. I appreciate you. We talked a little bit before I decided to do this review in the Discord, and you said that I got what I wanted. You said she stepped up. Okay, she did step up. You are correct. I did initially say that she feels like she's playing a side character in her own show because I just wasn't feeling the oomph for her character, excuse me. And this episode did it. I was like, okay, I'm a believer now. She did something this episode. But yeah, prior to this, I'm okay. What's Freddie up to? What's Dave up to? Those are the only two characters that I was really interested in. Then Michelle came third. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into this here. Let's start off with Dave's clapback. All right, so we got Dave here, and you see him here. He's scoping out his next target because I think he's gonna burn down Ashley's house, probably, or I guess his house. It seemed like that because Michelle and Steven were looking at the map, and it was in the shape of a smile, and in the trajectory, Ashley's house was the next house. So, is this going to be the play next episode? We shall see, but we do see Elliot and Ashley, not Allison, because I've been wanting to call her Allison for some reason. And so yeah, she's trying to go ahead and send him off with his dad. Keep the family away. You heeded my warning. Keep the family away. But Dave will be running it back next episode for Ashley, I believe. It's like, yeah, you ain't finna divorce me. You gonna get flamed first. All right. So that's Dave's plan, but also we saw last episode here um with hold on guys, where I'm at. Okay. With Harvey here. And we get Harvey's confession later in the episode where he's talking to his daughter. But initially, I thought when he went in and smashed this picture or whatever, I thought he was going after the lake house, and he potentially still could go after the lake house. But I think it was basically just to send a message like, "Hey, I know what you did last summer, Harvey. Okay, I know what you did last summer, and if I go down, I'm telling." But we find out that Harvey basically embezzled some money. And by some money, I mean 250 bands. Which initially started out as 5K, and then he got greedier and greedier. But I don't know. He was just like, "Hey, I'm taking what's mine. Okay, give me back what's owed to me. You know, y'all better give that man his raise, right? He took his raise, right?" But that's pretty much it for Harvey and his storyline this episode. All right, so we got Dave and Michelle in the office right here. He's saying this little something off about you, and then we get into a little awkward conversation about him portraying her in the book, and he wanted to, do some things to her, this, that, and the third, and she's like, "You want to F me, Dave?" um, but yeah, she said it so seductively. I don't know. I think part of me thinks there's a small part of Michelle that wants Dave. That's just me. But I don't think that's definitely not gonna happen. But anyway, so then he hits her with "I don't shit in my bed" or something like that. "I don't shit where I lay," and all this is going over the I guess the radio that Steven and the rest of the two other people that are looking at with him, and the Asian lady look back to him like, "What?" Um, I was like, "Yeah," but he just blasted all over the radio. Of course, she had to deny because she knew they were listening on the mic. But Michelle, yep, you did sleep with your boss because you are unethical and you don't play by the rules, right? And then we go to car scene right here, and he's just basically just saying it right in her face, like, "Got no fingerprints, got no DNA, you got nothing on me. So what are you gonna do?" And then she throws a little shot at him, um, that he failed his psych evaluation, and I knew that's where it was going when she mentioned him trying to apply for the police force. I was like, he probably failed the psych evaluation, right? So yeah, at least somebody's doing their job. Why did he get hired on by the fire department? Shouldn't they be hiring by the same standards? I don't know how it works, but anyway. So, and then she hit him with the "I don't burn dogs alive." Burn. So we basically, telling each other without telling each other, "Hey, I know what you got going on," right? And then we get to this scene right here, and this poor lady, she just trying to help. And he asked her, "Were you urinating or defecating?" What kind of line of question that's not standard questioning. But anyway, so yeah, he breaks her down, and yeah, that was weird. And then we get the table scene right here where he basically exposes Mercy's, and that's her real name, Mercy. Um, I think, or is that just a nickname? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah. So he tells her about her mom, that she was a drug addict, it seems, and she may or may not have been tricking that night. But from the flashbacks, we knew that she was in a room with the guy. The guy got shot. She shot the guy, obviously, and she burned down the hotel along with a couple that was right next to him. So like mother, like daughter, right? Apple don't fall too far from the tree. Just burning up, folks, right? And we still haven't seen her mother yet, so I assume it's gonna be next episode if we have some type of sighting, or we just gonna keep talking about mama all day. They waiting to the last episode to show the mama. I'm ready to see the mama. What she look like? All right. Um. So yeah, and then we get this great face off right here. You're an arson investigator who sets fires. You're a police officer that sets fires, or a police detective that sets fires now. Y'all both arsonists. So I still think it was something to that scene when Freddie was looking at the camera. It was like he was staring into her soul and then telling Dave at the same time about their mother issues. So these guys are linked. I don't know. We might end this season with them just tag teaming and burning stuff up together. Who knows? Nah, we not getting that. But let's talk about some redemption coitus. Dave wants to do what in a burning building? Oh my goodness. But yeah, so we get Dave going back to his wife here, his ex-wife, my bad. He might well, might well be your wife. Y'all belong together. But she was into it. When he said, I burned all of it. And I guess she went streaking. She got this little scar, not little scar, little burn mark on her stomach. So yeah, she went streaking, and they of course they were having rough coitus, while Espacito and Don were watching on. Espacito was getting a little hot and bothered. He wanted to do something. She was like, "Don't even think about it." But it seems like they might be. I don't know. They might be a little couple in the future. I don't know. But we shall see about that. But yeah, that was the redemption coitus part of my review. Now, let's go ahead and get ready to talk about Michelle and why she is trash, man. Michelle is trash. Part 2, guys. She's disgusting. I don't like her. So before we get into this, of course, after her meeting with Dave, of course, she needs to be consoled by none other than Steven. And she's like, why don't we go to your house? Now, pause. Last episode, Steven was trying to get in them draws, and she knew it. He was like, why don't I come by and give you some company? She was like, nah, bruh. Nah, I know what you're trying to do, right? So what makes you think going to his house is any better? You knew what time he was on. And then she had the nerve to say, I thought we were friends. Bullshit. You know that man ain't trying to be no damn friends with you. You know this. We finna get into it. Let's get into my pictures. And y'all already started off wrong here. Drinking. You're already starting off wrong. And he's soft talking, pillow talking her. And, I'm going to try to help you out and all that. And then a little bit later on, he reveals that I just said all that just to get in your panties, right? So maybe he deserved the little throat chop or whatever. But, yeah, we're going to get into it. Let's keep going. And then when he tried to lean in and kiss her, of course she pushed him off. And I was surprised because once she said, let's go to your house, I was like, oh, no, Michelle, no, you about to relapse. And so I was surprised when she pushed him off. I thought they was finna get it in. This thing really took a surprise turn. I gotta say that. And but yeah, after that, he says, "You invited yourself to my house for a drink." And then she hit him with the no, and then he said, "I left my wife for you." And then she had the nerve to hit him with, "I thought we were friends. You know, this man don't want to be friends with you. Fuck out of here with that." What you mean? Okay. So that part where I was because she already knew what time it was. Why are you playing oblivious? You knew what time it was when you went over there. You shouldn't have went over there at all. All right, let's keep going. And Dizzy, he reveals that, I don't know if he was just saying this because he was mad at this point or he was really just, saying all that stuff, to get some box. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, he was like, I was just trying to get you in bed. I didn't mean any of that stuff I said about getting you out of this, I guess, job or position she was in, get a better position. So yeah, I'm using you. Y'all both using each other, right? And then of course, he grabs the arm. Now if he would stay back, he wouldn't have got chopped in the throat. So that was on Steven. But like I said, that's not the reason I'm saying she is trash, even though she is now a murderer and an arsonist. Um, let's keep going. He's begging for help, and then she freezes, and then she freezes. Don't do this now. We don't want to see that shit. We don't want to do that. You a murderer. and then and then you steal another man's move. You couldn't even come up with your own original way to get rid of him. You had to steal Dave's idea with the cigarette. Of course, she's gonna frame him, and she goes back outside in the car, to get the was it some type of rag or something that Dave left in the car? I can't remember. And so that's gonna have his evidence on it, or his DNA or whatnot. So Dave, you got caught slipping. Unless you were calculated and you meant to do this, but I doubt that wouldn't make sense. But I don't know. We gonna see. I guess she gonna make it work. But like I said at the beginning of the review, she had to play a little bit dirty to get Dave. Do y'all agree? Because if she would have played by the book, more than likely y'all would have never caught this guy because y'all really had nothing on him evidence wise. So we get Steven along with his house being burnt down, and we just replaced one arson with another arsonist. Looking up with a cigarette in your mouth. But anyway, let's talk about the ending scene right here. This is why I say Michelle is trash. She wound this man head up because on episode 1 I didn't have enough context. I don't know what she said. I don't know if he was just overly simping or something like that. But not only did you probably gave this man the best night of his life. I don't know. Maybe she has some magical box. I'm not sure. But you laying in the bed with the man. She's saying, say it. And I'm like, oh man, she finna get this man to tell her he loves her. And he says it. And he says, smile back if you love me. And she smiled. So she gave this man the green light to leave his wife. This man got children. I'm ready to ruin my relationship with my wife. I'm ready to ruin my relationship with my children because I thought you loved me. You gassed this man head up in the first place. No wonder he crazy. It's your fault. You should have just kept it. Friends with benefits or something like that. But this is the scene that did it for me right here. She's disgusting. She's disgusting. But that's it for me. And Michelle is trash. Uh, but yeah, she definitely stepped it up this episode, character wise. Uh, as far as the writing, I just felt like something was a little missing from her character. Nothing wasn't really going on. That if it just felt like they gave Dave and Freddie all the good stuff. But yeah, she definitely came out on top this episode. So, one more thing, quick predictions for episode 9. Let's see if I can pull this up here. And this the first thing I saw when I went on my Apple TV. It says a desperate Calderon calls in a favor. Um, who was she calling a favor for? I'm not sure. David scrambles for control. A massive blaze stokes a make or break showdown. I assume between Michelle and Dave, maybe. And we got her kind of look like she in the forest a little bit. I can't tell though. But maybe she might be in the backyard or something. I'm not sure. But we shall see. And she's blooded up, so like she got in a fight with somebody. But we gonna see. I don't say nothing about a mother or anything like that. But who do y'all think the favor is? Who do y'all think she's calling in for a favor? But that's all I could get for episode 9. I wish they did some trailers or something like that. But Apple doesn't normally do trailers. But anyway, guys, once again, that is it for your check-in for Smoke episode 8. Let me know how y'all like the episode. Make sure y'all like the video, share with anybody you know that watches Smoke. We got one more episode, guys. I kind of want to go live for episode 9. I need a little motivation though. If just give me 20 likes. 20 likes and we'll go live, man. But we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this check-in. I will see you guys next week for the finale of Smoke. See you guys next time.